Hi guys, and welcome to the ace tanker for the T-150, the tier 6 Russian heavy tank. This is a tank I rebought because, like so many of the mid-tier Russian ace tankers I'm bringing you to at the moment, they're tanks I rushed through first time round. So it was a long time since I last played this tank, and surprisingly I do have quite some fun, or I have quite a lot of fond memories of the T-150. I remember that basically it felt like a much better version of the KV-1. It's a heavy Russian tank. It's got very nice hull armor, but surprisingly the turret on the T-150 actually has less armor than the upgraded and final turret on the KV-1 that is a tier below it. But other than that, it's a really nice tank. I do have fond memories of the T-150, and thankfully it didn't take me too many games to get an ace tanker in it, and this is it. And also it might be worth saying that after I get ace tankers in a lot of tanks, I sell them. But after playing this tank, I think this is my third or fourth game in the T-150 after rebuying it to get the ace tanker. But after playing just this game, I decided to keep it because it performed so well in this game. What I really love about the T-150 is not only is it a standard heavy Russian tank, it's surprisingly fast, surprisingly maneuverable, and you can side scrape in it. It's a very good tank to learn how to play World of Tanks in. But what I really love about this tank is the fact it has a 107mm gun with 167mm of penetration and 300 alpha damage. Also, the reload on the gun is very good, so it surprises people how quickly this gun reloads, and the DPM is actually very good. Now, we are here on Abbey, and it is a very tier 8 game. In fact, I'm bottom tier. I'm a tier 6 in a tier 8 game. Lots of tier 8s, lots of tier 7s on the enemy team. So I'm bottom tier, and again, trying to deal with a hull down T-34, not a good idea, especially when you only have 167mm of penetration. So the T-34 has just fired. I know I can pop out, take a shot, try and hit his commander's hatch, and that shot goes high. So like a Russian gun, a typical Russian gun, it's not that accurate, but anyway, we've invested a lot of tanks in the middle of the map. We've got a lot of tanks here on the 1-2 lines, and we don't have quite so many tanks on the 8-9 lines. So we need to actually do something here. We're losing tanks. We've already lost 2 tanks. We've lost 3 tanks. And I need to start doing something because our other flank has already collapsed and I haven't done any damage. So there we go. Get a little bit unfortunate. Hit the wreck of the Comet in front of me. As I say, I've got tier 7 and tier 8 tanks ahead of me. But I'm moving up. Tiger 1 is fired. Now the 112 is moving up. And I know if I can get shots into his lower glacis, we can do some work. But he advances. I track him in place. I have got Bringy here in his A43 for backup. Sneaky Badger is shooting from the middle in his SU. And there we go. I actually said to the guys, look at this, I'm going to set the 112 on fire. I do. He uses a repair kit. Bringy sets him on fire. And people ask me why I hate the 112. Well, the thing is, I can predict I can set the tank on fire. The thing is an absolute fire trap. And I don't care how good the frontal armor is, if you can set a 112 on fire at will, then basically it's a bad tank. So, we've taken out a tier 8 tank between us. I'm already up to 1400 damage against higher tier tanks, and now a Leva gives me a side, and you can see the rate of fire is nice on this tank. The alpha damage is great, and when you're not sniping with it, it is actually a very good gun. And 167mm of penetration is more than enough to go through the lower glacis on a Leva. So I'm taking on a tier 8 heavy here. And another lovely shot in. You can see I'm continually glancing behind me in case the T-34 advances, but I know that there is a T-28 stopping that from happening. So I can just focus on the tanks in front of me. Yep, although the T-28's just taken a big hit. So I've got a choice. I can go down, support the T-28, or I can continue to work on this Leva. And again, another shot into his lower glacis. So we're up to 2.6k damage so far. And he dies before I can get a shot in. So Bringy gets ammo racked. Oh no, I needed Bringy's help here. and for some reason my teammates abandoned me. So KV-85 E25 advance, and I'm trying to go for a track shot here. Get a nice track shot in on the T-34, but unfortunately don't track him. So now the T-34 has to deal with this T-28 in front of him. Again, miss my track shot, and the replay's gone crazy. 9.4 replay. So many problems. So I'm staying safe from the T-34, but the T-28 misses his opportunity. T-34 puts a big hit into me, and as a result I'm down to less than half health. But thankfully the E-25 comes back around, flanks the T-34, and there we go. We have won this flank, but unfortunately while we were doing all of that, our team have absolutely collapsed. So we're being capped. Sneaking Badger is dead. And yeah, now it's just a matter of coming back. So our team are losing big time. It is 7-10. But you gotta remember, I'm a tier 6 in a tier 8 game, and the fact that the tank was performing this well was the primary reason I decided to keep it. And I don't do that often with tanks I rebuy. But I tell a lot of people that a KV-1 is a good tank to learn how to play World of Tanks in, and I think the fact it leads onto a tank like the T-150 is another reason to go down the KV-1 line first, because both tanks are similar. If you play the KV-1 well, you're going to play the T-150 well. So I have a figure the enemy team decided not to cap. There's a Tiger II and an AMX advancing, and I'm wondering if they're going to poke this corner. Our KV-5, for some complete unknown reason, has decided to abandon us and go up alone into the enemy spawn. Now there are 2 tanks capping, and I can't wait any longer. And surprisingly, the tanks go on the lower road. They don't actually try and flank us above. So T-28 is in trouble, but I can't do anything till the enemy tanks come around the corner and the T-28 is dead. So get one shot in. And I'm keeping an eye, making sure no one's coming up in front of us. Our E-25 somehow got spotted. This is not good. So I've got to turn. Our E-25 goes down, and now I'm going to get shot from our spawn. I'm going to get shot from these tanks coming up. I'm going to try and reverse into cover if I can. Get another shot into the AMX, but the AMX is a fantastic gun. It has no problems going through the front of my tank. And now the Tiger II, and I angle, but it's not enough to prevent death. So a complete and utter team collapse, but a really, really good performance from a tier 6 tank in a tier 8 game. So it always sucks to get an ace tanker on a defeat, but I think a lot of ace tankers are down to your teammates not being very good, which leaves a lot more kills and a lot more damage available to you. Unfortunately, sometimes the balance isn't right and your team end up just not being good enough and leading to a defeat. But as I say, ace tanker in my 3rd game in the T-150 since rebuying it, I can't complain. I was pretty happy with it. I also picked up a high caliber. And what really, really amazed me is the fact that even as bottom tier, tier 6 in a tier 8 game, I was still able to do 4k damage, still able to get 1517 XP, even though I didn't manage a single kill. That's the DPM of the tank, and that's how good it can be. And if it can do that in a tier 8 game, I just want to imagine what it can do in a tier 6 game. So basically, that's the whole reason, that's the main reason I decided to keep this tank after this game. It just blows me away. This tank can perform even against tier 8, so yeah, it's deserving of a permanent place in my garage. I'm actually looking forward to playing it again because I don't have a very good crew in it. In fact, it's a new crew, 75% crew, forgot to mention that. So I can't wait to see what this tank is capable of with a good crew in it. But 1517 XP, that's more XP by about 500 than anyone on the winning team got. What an amazing tank, folks. I really, really think the T-150 is a lot better than I first remember when I first started playing it. 17 shots fired, 15 hits, and 13 penetrations, a nice amount of damage. Now, I was fighting against tier 7s and tier 8s, and the armor didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to, but I still managed to bounce 2 shots. Spotted 1, damage 6, 401 assistance damage, and I earned a surprisingly high amount of credits, even though I didn't get any kills. So over 60,000 credits with a premium account. Wasn't my first game of the day. As I say, it was a new purchase, was playing it a couple of times, and ended up up with 2,275 XP with a premium account. So yeah, Ace Tanker, defeat sucks, but what a performance from a tier 6 tank in a tier 8 game. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.